is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on that. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!
All right, man. What's going on, man? Welcome to the Cowboy Up podcast. It's your boy, Dallas Cowboy Chris, along with y'all know who he is, my man from the 915, Armando 21. Armando 21, what's up, baby? Give me a second, Mondo. I got technical difficulty. I can't hear you.
Nah, it was me though, because I was muted, big fella. I'm over here talking away. I looked at my mic. I said, "Oh, that's me right there." But we chilling. You already know, big fella. I had you confused, big fella.
I was like, is it me? I was like, I hope it's not me. I was like, man, everything was sounding so good earlier.
But we chilling, big fella. You already know it's Super Bowl weekend, but the Cowboys always in the news. Big news this week, and we all know. But let's get it, big fella. Shout out WWE guy Ivan Sosa in the building. Shout out Raymond. What's up, y'all?
I see y'all, man. What's up, Raymond? Ivan, how are you, Ivan? And man, look who slid in our DMs. Do y'all see who slid in our DMs? It's our man St. Louis, Joe. Joe, what's cracking? Hey, Joe, man. Also, man, everybody, if y'all want to join in today, man, and be a part of the show, you're more than welcome. I'm gonna throw the link out real quick, and we'll get it to y'all, man. So we got some news to talk about. It's like soon as we got through talking about old Dan Quinn last week, the Commanders quickly came and swooped his ass up, which was a surprise to me, man. I didn't think the Commanders, Dan was even on their radar. I actually thought that he would be going to Seattle. But hey, it was a true 180, man. First Kellen Moore to the Eagles, now Dan Quinn to the Commanders. What's your thoughts, man? 21 about this, man?
Well, it kind of gives us a reassurance that the Dallas Cowboys are the I guess the top where you want to be. So if you're getting our coaching staff, we're the threshold as far as the NFC East, and so they see what we do, and they see the turnarounds that these coaches have with these Cowboys, and they go and get them. But I'm just like you. I was kind of baffled. Dan Quinn to the Commanders. Out of all teams, you chose the Commanders, knowing you're gonna see Big Mike twice this year. The whole Kellen Moore thing. We know he went to the Eagles, but he was previously with the Chargers, so that was kind of a whatever. And we saw what he did over there, which was a big nothing. So now we got Dan Quinn with the Commanders, and to me it felt like kind of a little jab you know, but we'll see, man. We'll see how that pans out. We see him twice a year this year. This season feel like, I guess, like you say, kind of took you by surprise. Okay, you chose the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was really surprised, man, honestly. I was like, okay, you went to the Commanders and they don't have anybody on defense. They got rid of everybody. They got rid of Chase Young and Sweat and everything. So are they starting from scratch, or are the Commanders? Did the Commanders take him just because he was a Cowboy coach? For the insight, try to get the Cowboys number from the inside. Is that why Philly went and got Kellen Moore? My whole thing is, you may know, because this happened to me, and you can't compare a little league to NFL, but we had coaches on our team went to other teams, and they went to other teams just because, hey, they wanted to beat us.
Yep.
Didn't happen, because all it is, man, talent outweighs it all anyway. I mean, it really don't matter what you know about me. If I tell you, like Nate New used to say back in the 90s, hey man, we used to tell him we running right here. Couldn't stop it. So if you know, even if you know what's going on, it really don't matter, man. Ken fan, what's happening, baby? I don't know if it's Anthony or Adam. It don't matter which one. The man, my man from Canada, man. My brothers, how are y'all doing tonight?
Brothers, man.
Hey, I don't even have nothing to crack.
Right?
I'm looking up. I didn't get no beer today, man. I'm sorry, man. I was rushing last minute today, and I'm back in Arlington, and all my beers outside. And I'm inside the house today, so I'm not even in the cave tonight. But yeah, man, let's go back to Dan Quinn. I know I was one of those big proponents, man, at the end of the season, man, to blame Dan for that just tremendous waste of space of outcome in the Green Bay game, switching up the defense and then getting totally embarrassed. And the first thing we wanted to do is blame Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. But to me, the real culprit was Dan Quinn. To me, I was really ticked off about that whole situation, and I just couldn't understand why the Cowboys let that slide, because to me, I think the Cowboys knew he was getting a head coach. That's why they didn't fire him. Because, hey, before he even got down out that damn coaching booth, he had been fired from me. Because, look, he got a history. He got a history of doing things in big games that he don't normally do. And it cost his teams victory, okay? A lot of Cowboy fans was always celebrating the minor crap. It was minor crap to me during the season. If you shut out a team like the Giants, that shit's easy. You can do that every year, But when we needed the shutout and we needed the big stop, Dan Quinn never gave it to us, man. I know I was hard on him the last 2 years, man. It may have just been me, 21, but I was really hard on Dan Quinn, and I was really excited that he left, man.
Well, big fella, and with that loss, like I kind of, we're in the era of conspiracy theories, man. This whole is the NFL rig thing. So I came up with a little conspiracy theory, and I want you to tell me what you think, big fella. Okay. So Dan Quinn, we get to the playoffs, the game where we think you're gonna show out and you're gonna show this defense, and you're gonna put our defense in a position to win, but you don't. You switch up the defense in that one game, and it's just, to me, I feel like, was Dan Quinn trying to sabotage this game, thinking maybe we'll have Mike McCarthy out, and maybe Dan Quinn, he said, maybe once we get Mike out, I'll become the head coach of the Cowboys?
Dude.
Was this a sabotage move? Because
Well,
why out of all games do you switch up the defense in the playoff game?
I think I don't think it was a sabotage move. I think sometimes coaches try to outsmart themselves,
Right.
because they want to switch it up from what works. Everything you've seen them on film the whole season, and somebody gonna say, "Hey, man, we're gonna figure this out, and we're gonna give them a different look." Okay. Well, the different look didn't work. It just didn't work, man, and it was one of the most frustrating things. And what's so bad? This game was 3 weeks ago, and I'm still harping on it because, the closer we get to the Super Bowl, the more frustrated I get about our performance in the first round. And that's just what it is, man. So to me, congratulations, Commanders. Hey, you got one. We gonna see. So hey, man, I'm gonna bring in, man. Let's bring on Ivan, man. Ivan, bro, man. Good night, man. I mean, good afternoon. Say, man, what you think about Dan Quinn getting to those Commanders, brother?
I said, fuck them. We'll smoke them all. We'll smoke them both.
There it is. Yeah. He said, "Fuck." I ain't beating around the bush. He said, "Fuck."
Hey, no beating around the bush at all, Ivan. You was just like, man, if they gotta go, they gotta go.
Exactly.
Yep. I want Mike Zimmer as DC. He will bring discipline.
Okay.
And that's some mental health, like a psychiatrist.
With
So
Jack.
Yeah.
How you think Dan is gonna do, bro, in Washington?
I think he will do okay.
He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, to me, he gotta find him a Michael Parsons. He gotta find him two
He needs
quarterbacks.
to find a quarterback.
Yeah.
We
There's
know Jack.
rumors about Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You
And
think?
we know
Well,
Jack-
yeah, he gonna go number one. Don't Washington have the
The second round pick.
second pick.
pick? Well,
Yeah.
I thought Caleb was gonna go first to Chicago. But we'll see. Once they get him a quarterback. But to me, the quarterback is good.
Mhm.
I mean, but the defense. Well, they did hire Kingsbury too, didn't they? They let the enemy go and they hired Kingsbury. So I think he's trying to do a high-powered offense in Washington too. Because Kingsbury was there in for the Cardinals, and then with Texas Tech, they threw the ball all over the place. So maybe he's trying to do that, man. What you think, 21?
I think that we know Dan Quinn is a defensive coordinator. We know that's where he strives. Right? We saw him as the head coach in Atlanta. We saw the debacle there, but I think Dan Quinn is kind of saying, look, I'm gonna do this defense. If you're gonna take care of this offense, but I think you're right, Big Fella. I think they want to go high powered on offense. I think that he did go into the best situation he could as far as they got picks. They got the second pick, and I believe they got some good picks coming up. So, shout out to them. But we will see them twice a year. And as Ivan said, fuck them. We gonna beat them twice.
Hey, Ivan, I think you don't like them, do you?
No, not the Eagles too. Fuck the Eagles and the Commanders.
What about the Giants, bro?
Fuck them too. I don't like 6G.
Hey, big shout out to our bros, man. One Star One Family. Shout out Kai. Shout out Sherry, the godmother out there in Vegas repping. Yes, sir.
And fuck that too.
He said fuck the Super Bowl too.
So
I want that Super Bowl so much. 29 years.
yeah,
Yup,
man.
it's tough, man. It's tough.
29 years.
It has taken a lot of us Cowboy fans, man, to try to get over
There's
the loss.
so much we can do, but the players can execute.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need Derrick Henry so much.
Well, yeah, that's another topic we probably gonna get into later on in the day, because the big Big Swag Goose said that on the NFL live about Derrick Henry approaching him about getting to Dallas. You know, I didn't actually know Derrick Henry actually lived here in Dallas, and that was a shocker for me. But Ivan, hey man, we got another guest, brother. Hey, let me tell you something, Ivan. We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you so much, man, for your dedication, man, and you follow.
Any boycotts the team?
I'm sorry.
Any boycotts?
He said, "Can we boycott?"
Oh no boycotts. We ain't gonna boycott. We ain't gonna boycott. But look, man, I do want to thank you, bro, because I do appreciate you following us, man. Over here at the huddle, everywhere, man. You've been a very supportive man, and we appreciate you, bro. But we got another guest hanging on, man, and I keep commenting in the comments, okay?
Sir, appreciate
all right,
that.
bro. Peace out. Say, man, do y'all not understand? Do y'all not understand who just walked in the damn room?
What up? What up? What up?
Gotta go get a beer now. Something.
What up, fellas?
Anthony for the Cowboy Can fan is in the house. And what's up, baby? How you doing?
Well, I saw you guys going live, and I was like, I was just sitting here by myself in the dark, naked. So I was like, I should throw a shirt on and hop on with these fellas.
Perfect.
Thank you for the shirt. You know, what's happening below, that's between you and God, okay? Hey, man, I want to throw this question back at you, bro. Man, how do you feel that Dan Quinn is at the Commanders, man? You think that'll affect the Cowboys in any way at all?
He's public enemy number one, my friend. Hey, man, the Commanders, they've been dog shit for forever, you know. And if he wants to go, he saw the gold lights. He saw the number 2 overall pick. He saw all this cap space. But it's like, I hold grudges, man. If you go from the Cowboys to any divisional rival, you're out of my brain. DeMarco Murray, one of my favorite players. As soon as he went to the Eagles, you're done. Like, so Dan Quinn, we were huge supporters of Dan Quinn on the Can Fan Show. You could have went to any other 28 teams, and you decided to go to 3 that you can't, and he picked one of them. So he's as far as I'm concerned, let's put it on him. Let's stack up some points on him.
If you're not with us, you're against us.
Facts, man. And I get it. Like, you got to think of it. It's a pretty sweet spot for him. You get the 2 overall pick. You have a boatload of cash. He's probably going to get a couple Cowboys free agents. So there's lots of opportunity for him there. But as Cowboys fans, like, fuck him, basically. Like, it's on, man. It's on.
Now, hey, man, I was one of those guys, man, that been on Dan Quinn ass, you know, for 2 seasons, okay? Because I always said we will always target Mike McCarthy. We'll target Dak Prescott, but no one would ever target Dan Quinn for fuck-ups. And it would drive me crazy, bro. How do you feel, Anthony, about his performance, man, the last 2 years as the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys?
You're right, because everyone talks about Dak Prescott in big games. Everyone talks about Mike McCarthy in big games. But, Chris, you were up in Canada with us watching the Buffalo game, and that defense did not show up. James Cook ran for Josh Allen threw for under, I think, 150 yards, and we still got smoked, right? Yeah. And then you fast forward to the playoff loss, and we're running 6 DBs in clear run downs, and clearly when Green Bay's lined up to run it, we're playing with 6 DBs. So I'm hoping he brings that strategy to Washington. I hope he lines up with 6 DBs, because then maybe the Cowboys can get a running game going. But after that playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, I was calling for McCarthy's head. I really was. But who knows? Maybe this is the best situation. Maybe McCarthy stays. The offense was never really that big of an issue. The issue was in big games, the defense disappeared. When the defense needed one stop, a turnover, or any type of big play in a big moment, it just was never there. So I think some fresh blood in the defensive coordinator room could be a blessing, to be honest.
Man, and Anthony, man, I took I was a victim of this too, man, because I was a Cowboy fan that was celebrating the small victories on the defense, the pick sixes, the sacks, and everything like that. But then you have to think about it. Okay, man, what type of competition was that we were getting those opportunities and those takeaways? And then when you really go back and look, because when the season's over, you have nothing else but to go back and reflect on what really happened during the season. My reflection was like, we beat up on the ugly, and when the pretties came around, like the Niners when we went to Santa Clara, because Armando was there, got run all over. Okay, when we needed the big game in Buffalo, we got run all over. When we went to Miami, when we needed a fucking stop, we got run over. And I was thinking, who is the culprit? Who is the culprit for these actions? Because remember the year before when we was like, man, that fucking Jacksonville gang gonna come back and bite us in the ass. Remember, it came back and bite us in the ass. Okay, and I was like, man, that fucking Dolphin gang gonna come back and bite us in the ass. And what happened? It bit us in the ass. But look, hey, 21, what you got, man? What you think about that, bro?
I mean, I'm with Ant. It's just the games that we needed. We always talked about how we relied on this offense because we never had this big defense. And when we finally had this defense, the one games that we needed them, it's like they weren't there. They weren't, So obviously we always we threw the blame at Dak, at Mike McCarthy, when the big fella was right all along. It was Dan Quinn, and we never got on him because we saw this defense, how special we thought it was. But in those big games, man, it's just nothing.
Something else. Hey,
well, and wait, one sec, Chris. One thing I hate about it too. One thing I hated was there was no accountability. Like we kept seeing these stupid ass penalties throughout the whole season, all season long, and most of the time by the defense. These infractions, these roughings, these stupid bonehead penalties. And everybody's buddy with Dan Quinn, right? They're all talking about how he talks to them like a friend. They're all friends. They're out boxing with him. They're all doing this shit with him. I want a coach that's going to get on your ass when you fuck up, right? Like when you mess up one time, if it's in a big spot, well, now you ain't playing for the rest of the game. Sorry, I don't care what player you are. You go offside on a crucial third down. You rough the passer on a crucial third down. You PI on a crucial third down. Have fun sitting and watching the rest of your teammates, right? And we haven't had that with the Cowboys since I've been a fan, right? Like since I've been a fan of the Dallas Cowboys in my late teen years, into my 20s, into my 30s, we've never had that. And I'm hoping that the Cowboys, and I don't know who they're going to go with for defensive coordinator, but I want somebody that's going to hold players accountable more than try to be their friend.
Man, that's a good segue, man, because that was our next topic, man. Who do we want to lead the defense coming up, brother? We've had some names come across, old Cowboy coaches. We got the carousel of coaches, the Commanders, Ron Rivera. We got the Minnesota Vikings old coach. Why am I drawing a blank to his name?
Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer. And I heard Al Harris has been mentioned, a few people. 21. Well, who do you want to lead the boys, man, next year, man, on that defensive side of the ball? Do you have a candidate in mind that you would like to see?
I mean, you know what name I liked, but I guess he's going to follow Dan, which was Joe. What was it, Joe Witt?
Joe Witt Jr.
Yeah, Joe Witt Jr. was. I think that he would have been a good fit there. For some reason, I think he's gonna follow suit and probably end up going with the commies. But Mike Zimmer is the name. I think that kind of I don't know about Ron Rivera, but we also have other names out there. There's other names. There's the Bill Belichick's. Nobody's mentioned him. I believe there was a comment made by Jerry talking, or somebody in the Cowboys organization saying that Jerry was gonna make like a splash. So we'll see, man. We'll see what Jerry has in store for us. But right now that big name is Mike Zimmer. I kind of would go that way if it's between him and Ron Rivera. But we'll see.
Anthony, who you got, man? Who you want to lead us, brother?
I honestly was thinking Al Harris, to be honest, but the more you hear about it, he doesn't really want to be in a coordinator position right now. So the one good thing about Al Harris, he can't get sniped from us and go to the Commanders unless they decide to promote him. So they'd have to promote him to be able to steal him. So Al Harris hopefully still locked up. But as far as defensive coordinator, I mean, you hear all these names batted around, and a lot of old school guys, like you got Ron Rivera, you got Mike Zimmer, and it would be funny. Like I'd be pretty bummed out if we went with Riverboat Ron, to be honest. I wouldn't be too happy with him. I've seen clips of Mike Zimmer going around. He seems like a pretty hard-nosed guy who's going to keep guys accountable. But I don't know, man. I just want somebody to get in there and splash some fire, because I was so high on Dan Quinn. Like I was at the start of the season thinking, like, if Mike McCarthy messes up again, this is Dan Quinn's team, right? Like that's what my mindset was. And then just down the stretch, the defense didn't show up, and like it just felt like we kept making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. So I just hope whoever comes in next is, if something's not working, they at least change it, or they don't wait to try something new in the wild card round. So I don't really care personally. I just hope they come with a little bit of fire.
Man, to me, I'm like this. Me and a buddy of mine, we were talking about how the league is going young in their coaches because they're more innovative in their thought process. And I don't have a name in mind, but I want the Dallas Cowboys to go that way. I want them to go to that young mind, that guy that's going to come and bring you something more than just the base defensive and the base pass rushing schemes. I need somebody to get number 11 if he's buying in this year, to move him around whether he likes it or not. Okay. I'm like you, and I don't want nobody to be friends. Okay, you be friends and celebrate after the end of the season when you hold up the Lombardi, But going and training with them, I don't care about all that. I want somebody to be productive, be smart, man, be intelligent, man, and be to give us that wow that we're looking for. I don't just want regular season wow. I need you to come in the playoffs and give me something that we hadn't seen before. So all the old names are cool, okay, yeah. And if they hire Ron Rivera, I would. I'm trying not to boycott.
I think you have the sentiment of every other Cowboys fan. That is a name that nobody wants, man. Like we switched out, we gave our defensive coordinator to their head coach, and then we took their head coach that can't even get a team to play. Now we're expecting them to be able to get a defense to play. That would be the ultimate just low brow bullshit hire in forever. Like that's equivalent to me to the Mike Nolan hire years ago. Like I don't want it. Just keep it away. Give me anything but that. Honestly, anything but Ron Rivera, and I'm happy. Honestly,
there's a name we didn't mention is the Titans head coach,
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
So the thing with Mike Vrabel is there a benefit for him to become a DC? Like if he sits out a year, he's still going to be a top coach going into the 2025 season. Is there a benefit for him to go and drop down into the coordinator ranks again right now? Because it could go one of two ways. He goes and coordinates for a team, and their defense is a top 10 defense, or he drops down and becomes a defensive coordinator, and his defense struggles with say the Cowboys say a team that's been in the playoffs for the last 3 years. He becomes defensive coordinator. What if they don't even make the playoffs? Now you're looking for a scapegoat. Now his name's out of head coaching contention. Is there even a benefit for him to coach 1 year as a defensive coordinator?
Hey, This is why I like Vrabel, even though I said I want the younger coach. Hey, it may be an end for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, true.
If we could get Vrabel and Derrick, I think we won the draft just like that.
Yep.
And you know what, big fella, I think that Vrabel is kind of in that newer era of head coaches. What kind of you're talking about. I think he's part of that newer head coaching that I know he's an older guy, but I believe he's still kind of in that newer era, that the new kind of coaching type So I wouldn't mind that, but I didn't look at it as Ant did. Is it is it in his best option to do that when, like you say, something goes bad and now he loses that head coaching position, and it's true.
Hey, and I want to bring that up, man. We know this year our running game was horrific. I mean, let's just be honest. It was horrific. Okay, it wasn't up to our standards at all. What we're used to. You brought up DeMarco Murray. He's one of my favorites too, man. Just because when he was on the team, I kept saying, man, give it the ball to 2-8, man. Let's go.
Yep.
When Zeke get the ball to 2-1, let's go. Because man, running the ball in the NFL sets up so much. Okay, it helps your quarterback, your offense so much, man. And I just think it was just one of the deficiencies that the Cowboys had along with their defensive line. Other than Derrick Henry, bro, who would you like? Do you want somebody to be drafted? Do you want a veteran, bro? Who do you want in the Cowboys backfield, man?
I just want a battering ram. Like I want somebody that even if I don't see Tony Pollard sticking around, it would be tricky to keep TP20 in the lineup. But I think we can kind of replace what he did with Rico Dowdle. But then I want a battering ram. Like I want a guy in there on first down that he's going to make the team feel when they tackle him, right? Like I know that's such a cliche thing. Derrick Henry to me it would be awesome. If we could get Derrick Henry on a 2-year deal for like, I don't know, what do you guys think he's going to take a year? 8 to 10 million a year, maybe?
Well, they gave Tony that 10-year on under the
franchise.
Franchise. So I think it would give him six a year.
Sign me up. If you can get Derrick Henry for anything under 9 million for me for 2 years, I think it's you have to do it. He's something that we missed, and I think he gives you that attitude. He gives you that identity. Then you go in the first round. This is the thing. If you go and you get Derrick Henry and you pay some money, the first pick you need to take, you have to do whatever you have to do to get one of the top centers in the draft. You have to get those 3 guys in the middle, get the center short up. You already have your 2 guards short up. If Tyron Smith can make a run again and Terrence Steele can kind of figure it out with a Derrick Henry, you're laughing. But if you don't go Derrick Henry, there's a guy in the draft that played for Florida, Trey Benson. And that's the kind of other guy that I've been kind of looking at in the draft who has a similar size to Henry. He's a big dude. I just want a battering ram. Give me someone 6'2", 230, and let's just pound the rock, man. Pound the rock.
21.
Derrick Henry is that guy. It's that I think Rue had talked about it a lot, which is the thunder and the lightning, and we were missing part of it. We had TP, but I feel like that complementary to him was not there anymore. Which was Zeke, and we need that battering ram, which he was. We those couple plays, those plays like that Miami game where you saw Tony just couldn't punch it in, and it just it was frustrating. It was frustrating to not have a Zeke in there or something, and so we definitely need a battering ram. And if it's not Henry, I wouldn't mind Barkley. Barkley's a big dude. Barkley's out there, So, but who knows how that would pan out as far as because we know his injury. He's kind of injury prone, I guess. So but that's another name that's out there, and I really haven't paid attention to it as far as draft who's out there, but I gotta check that guy out, the one Ant's talking about.
Dude, Trey Benson, check him out, man. He's an absolute beast of a running back.
Yeah, I gotta compliment you, Ant, because normally I'm that draft guy. I'm already in it. I've been so out of it since they lost the first round. I didn't want to consider anybody right now. So emotional. Hey, the Cowboys put us through an emotional roller coaster this year, man. I mean, we all of us said, hey, I think this is the one. This is the time, because everything had set up. Because you think about it, the only body in the NFC that we really had to fight through would be the Niners, right? So when none of that happened, I've been in this emotional state. I commend y'all for doing your simulcast on the playoffs and everything. I could watch it like this. I'm like, that should have been us.
I know. I feel the same. I feel the same, dude.
I mean, do we kind of all feel like this was one of the most emotional and kind of hard losses in the play, like for us? I mean, because to me, it's like this was worse than the 14-second Niner game. Like we were in it, they were still, but this one to come out and just do what you did, this one was a tough one. It's still, I mean, we're still talking about it now. That's how tough it was.
The reason it sucked for me was because like 2 weeks prior, 3 weeks prior to the postseason, it was feeling like we were going to be locked in at the 5 seed, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, we're going to go in at the 5 seed. We're going to be on the road the whole playoffs, right? So I was like, okay, it's going to be a battle. There's a possibility we lose in the wild card if we're a road team. The Cowboys weren't very good on the road. So there was a very good possibility that a wild card game could be an early exit. Then all the stars aligned for the Cowboys to secure that 2 seed. Right, everything happened. The Eagles had that terrible downfall. They faltered, they crashed and burned. So it was like, holy shit, man, we're getting this 2 seed. We haven't lost a home game in 16 games. We have 2 home playoff games to get to the NFC Championship game. Are you fucking kidding me? This lined up so perfect. It lined up so perfect, and then they just came out so flat. And it was kind of comical to me by halftime. I was just like, it was done by halftime. I was still there doing the numbers, like, okay, we have this much time. Kind of how it was when you were at Ad's place in the studio, Chris, with the Bills. Okay, we have this much time. We could still do this. We got to do that. We get the ball at halftime, and it was heartbreaking for me. But I think that pick 6 by Dak Prescott, that was kind of my, ripping the Band-Aid off moment where I was kind of like, okay, this game's done. This game's done. Season's done.
It is funny, man. As Cowboy fans and as content creators, we got to watch every second of it. We got to watch every second of the game, win, lose, or draw, which I do anyway. And normally I'll go back and watch the game and see, hey, man, how did this happen? I refuse to turn the tape on. I just refuse. I refuse. I can't do it. I was like, why would I put myself in that situation again? I'm damn near depressed now. Why would I watch that crap again? But yeah, Anthony, I agree with you, man, just because it was set up so perfectly for us. I mean, I was thanking Philadelphia fans and everything. Thank you, Lord, for your fucking team just disappearing in the whole second half. Thank you for giving us these 2 home games because I was with y'all. I believe the hype. Hey, damn it, we don't lose at home. And the Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. Well, they do.
We got duped.
They had Aaron Jones, who does own us in Dallas.
Facts.
He does. But anyway, man, back to the running back thing. I'm sorry, I got off kilter. I just don't want the Cowboys to sit around anymore. Jerry said they're all in. What does that actually mean? What does all in mean? I thought you're supposed to be all in every year.
Right?
What does that mean? So are we going to sit there and see a free agent that we need, and we're just going to pussyfoot around and not get them or undercut them monetarily and just let them walk to a team that don't even need them? Just like how we lost the linebacker to the Eagles. Man, I just knew Shaq would have fit in perfectly here, just because we needed that position. And then you see when we get to the playoffs, our biggest deficiency was glaring us right in our faces at fucking linebacker. Okay. And I said this in training camp, man. We can go back into the old huddle tapes and go back, and I said, man, look, Overshown got hurt. We need a fucking linebacker. We need to go get a linebacker. And the Cowboys never made not one attempt except at the end of the year to go get a linebacker. And I know we're talking about running backs and everything, but on the defense, man, I think our number one need is a big, strong linebacker that actually plays linebacker and not a hybrid safety or a hybrid defensive end. I need a fucking pure linebacker, man. What you think?
Oh, you need a linebacker. And the reason you need a linebacker, not only for the linebacking position, but so when we don't bring back Jaron Kearse, you can have Bell go back and take Kearse's position, right? Marquez Bell can go back and take over for Jaron Kearse, and he's a perfect situational player for that. He's a bigger safety that can tackle. He isn't a hybrid linebacker. There's no such thing. When it gets to the time where you need to make tackles and you need to go forward against running teams, you don't need a hybrid linebacker. You need a linebacker. You need a 6'4", 255-pound heat-seeking missile that's going to run up there and tackle motherfuckers, which we didn't have. And even with Leighton Vander Esch, people are like, well, it happened once LVE was out. No, it was a problem even before Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch was that guy for his first season in the NFL. That was the only time he was ever that guy. As soon as he started getting injured, and it's terrible. He had neck injuries, he had back injuries. It's awful, right? But Leighton Vander Esch coming back next year possibly, and Overshown being back, that is not a fix to that. The only fix is either picking up one of the top linebacking free agents, which are going to be expensive, or drafting one of the top 5 linebacking talents in the NFL draft. There's no other fix to that. The Cowboys have tried to have these Band-Aid fixes for linebacker for the last 3 or 4 years, and it hasn't worked. Since the last year that Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch were that tag team awesome linebacking corps, we haven't had true linebackers, and it's by far the most glaring position of need on defense, without a doubt.
Jesus, I know, man. 21, what you think, baby?
I'm with Ant. We need a linebacker, man. We need that run stopper. You know, we know we have Overshown, but we know he's coming off a big injury. You know, so we don't know the production how is it going to be there. You know, coming off that injury, but we do need to get out there and look for a linebacker. And like you said, big fella, you know, we can't just sit there and watch all these linebackers go off on free agent. And that's, when you're saying you're all in, you need to be all in and go get one of these guys. Don't just sit there and wait like we've done in the past years, and we just see him. This person got signed, that person got signed, and we're just like, damn.
Yeah.
So we need to get a true linebacker for sure.
When the Cowboys was all in, they went and got Charles Haley. When the Cowboys was all in, they went and got Deion Sanders. You know, when the Cowboys was all in, man, they went and got the people that they needed. Okay. And as fans, it's frustrating to us, man, because we're not professional coaches. We're fans. You know, we played football, we did this, and we know the concepts, we know everything. But as a fan, you can literally sit there and you can watch your team with these deficiencies, and you say, how the coach don't see this? How does the coach not see this? That's why I was so frustrated with Dan Quinn. That's why I was so frustrated with a lot of our offensive line. I played offensive line, and of course, I never played at that high level like they did. These are elite athletes. But if you're an elite athlete, I want you to perform like an elite athlete. And you brought up a great point, man, about the center position. Hey, Armando, I've been screaming this ever since me and Ant, we met in Las Vegas. I was going to Tyler Linderbaum, the center. Yep. He played for the Ravens. I wanted the guy because this is how I play center, okay? So this is my concept. Football is just like baseball. In baseball, you want a catcher, a pitcher, a shortstop in the center field. That's right up the middle, right? In football, you want a running back, a quarterback, a center, a middle linebacker, and a safety.
Yep.
And you build around, okay? So to me, Mr. Badass, be honest, played better, okay? But he was never no Travis Frederick. He was never no Stepnoski, okay? When the Cowboys' running game was excellent, they had an excellent top 5 center in the NFL. The Cowboys don't have that right now. So I love that you brought up the center, okay? Because that's where I'm focused. I'm like, man, I know you can do the center, second, third, okay? That's fine. But number one, I need me a heat-seeking missile at linebacker. At number 2, I need me the biggest, strongest, meanest fucking center in the draft. What you think, bro?
Yeah, hey, I agree, because the only time, and don't get me wrong, Biotish was serviceable, but the reason he's serviceable is he had the 2 best guards in NFL football, right? So he either had Zach Martin or Tyler Smith pretty much double teaming someone with him, right?
Yeah,
you need schemes where your center can take on a linebacker himself or can take on a deep defensive tackle himself, right? And Biadasz just isn't that guy. The reason he was serviceable enough is because he had, to me, Tyler Smith's an all-pro. I don't care if he wasn't an all-pro. To me, he's an all-pro left guard. He is. Zach Martin, without a doubt, the guard in the game, right? So if we can get a guy that's even a Pro Bowl, and I know it's asking a lot. Of course, we all want Pro Bowl players. But if you can get somebody that's just even above average, which I think Biadasz is average to me. I think he's the epitome of average. If you can get an above average center, man, this team will cook. This offense will cook, because you're right. How many times did we see some TP20 running between the center and the guard and gaining anything? Never. There was always somebody there to tackle him.
Yeah. It's a combination of things, man. I love the science of football. I mean, a lot of people. I told my wife one time. I said, look, if you play football, you can't be dumb. You know, Cowboys. I meant football players that got that stereotype of they're dumb. They're just big lumbering guys that don't anything. I said, but dude, if you ever sat in a meeting, an offensive meeting, and your coach is telling you, hey man, you got, hey lineman, you got a zone step here, man, but you got to crack this one, and then your quarterback, you got a waggle, and then you're gonna run a float to the other side, man, and the wide receiver, man, you got a 9 to a 7, but it's a combo, and you may have a comeback, and you sitting in that fucking meeting, and you don't know anything, you're like, huh?
Head spinning.
Crap, you got to retain, so. Hey man, that's why I love football though. But
towards like, didn't you see flashes from Biadasz where you were like, okay, he can? I mean, we saw some flashes, and I feel like, if we brought him back, because he's one of those notable free agents that we had talked about earlier. But I feel like Biadasz is. I saw flashes where I was liking him. I was like, okay, obviously you played center, you know the position, so. You didn't see flashes there where you were like, okay, maybe he can become that guy that we're looking for?
Well, Frederick and Stepnoski, all these people, they were maulers. Okay. Yeah. Frederick could, he one-on-one. He don't need help. You don't need a double team, And then you got to remember, man, the Cowboys run scheme was a totally different too when they had, because with DeMarco Murray, they did a lot of zone steps. Zone step is simple. Basically, you're not really blocking the man in front of you. Wherever we're going, basically the line is doing like a dance. They're dancing together, moving one side, and then whoever's in your zone, that's who you block. Okay, but you got to have somebody nice and strong with great feet to do zone blocking. Okay. And you got to be an athlete, okay? Tyler, don't get me wrong. Tyler has improved, but when Tyler first got there, I was steaming. I hated him, okay? But remember, I told you the shove around the world in training camp when he pushed out a linebacker. Was it Smith from Ole Miss? Yeah, Sam Williams.
Yeah, you're right.
Across the field, I was like, "Oh, Tyler is nasty now," but in the end, like Anthony said, he's just average. He's a serviceable guy. He's a good starting center, but to me, if you look on our offensive line, he is our weakest link. And he's a free agent, and he's probably going to demand, man, a good center in the league that's a veteran can get paid anywhere from 8 to 15 million bucks. Do you want to pay Tyler Biadasz 15 million bucks a year? I don't.
No.
If I'm paying my center 15 million a year, hell, he better be in the Pro Bowl every year.
What about Brock?
About who?
Who was it? Hoffman?
Oh, Hoffman, man, he ain't strong enough. He had made the field, and that's another thing. We got a lot of backups on our offensive line that don't make the. When players was getting hurt, they were putting in swing people instead of the people that was actually their actual backup. And to me, that's telling me they're not getting anything done in practice. Because if I'm the backup center, then you go and you get somebody else to play my position before me, that's telling me something. Either I'm not good enough or are they way better than me. So
Yeah, that's a red flag.
thank you. That's really what I was trying to say. It was a fucking red flag, And just like how they drafted Awesome Richards, and when Tyron got hurt, you're thinking, okay, hey, we got a rookie out there. Let's throw him out there. He didn't even touch the field this year, did he?
Nope.
Did he even touch the field?
No.
So, and then going back to our draft last year, they were all I think the highest grade you can give somebody, maybe Shoemaker a C. Everybody else was D's and F's and I's.
And the only reason Schoonmaker gets that C is because he was half decent at blocking. But realistically, like, man, and this is the thing that I'm going to go a little off topic here, but the difference between teams that make Super Bowls and the teams that don't are every single year for a team that wins a Super Bowl, their draft picks are making a difference. And this was the first draft class in a long time for the Cowboys that there wasn't a single impact player from the draft class. And you just can't have that. You need to, and I get it, the Mozzie Smith pick was like, we needed a defensive interior guy, but I would have rather taken anybody that would have actually had any type of substantial playing time and done something with it at any position other than a need.
And I remember being on your show, and we had a Michigan draft show, okay? And you asked me about Mozzie. And the first thing I said, Mozzie's good, but I think he's a second rounder, maybe third rounder. I said that on your show.
Yep.
And they picked him first, and I was like, okay. And y'all know I'm a Michigan man. Y'all know I'm a Michigan man. And I was just like, okay.
Well, and see, and that was the main reason for us. Our main reason for our feelings on Mozzie Smith was your feelings on him, because we knew you had watched him since he had been in college, right? So when you had said you had a late second, early third round grade on him, and we picked him at 26, that was another, speaking of red flags, to me, that was a red flag. So we can't have that. Whoever we take this year in the first round, and even in the second round, if you want a shot at any type of playoff success, those guys need to play and they need to have success.
They need to be impact players right off the rip.
Day one.
Yeah,
and you know that's coming. And man, and we talked to Jay Tuck. Jay Tuck was we was in Kansas City, and he was trying to talk us off the ledge about Mozzie. He was telling us why they drafted Mozzie in the first. But you know me, I watch every second of Michigan football. Okay, I saw every snap Mozzie ever played. Mozzie was a great player at Michigan, but Mozzie wasn't that impact. Like, hey, he pops off the screen. You know, when you got that defensive tackle that you're going to draft in the first round, you want him to pop off the screen, okay? And then when Mozzie did get on the field, man, it was just like he was on roller skates. He was always, 6 or 7 yards getting blocked down the field. And Mozzie, when I actually met him in person, we was at the sports con, I was bigger than Mozzie. And I was like, it's not good in the NFL, you know. I'm like, we're the same height. You know, I weighed more than him. And I was just like, I'm thinking, okay, watching people on film and make them look so big, right? And when you see him in person, I was just like, he's really not big, you know? Yeah. I was thinking once we drafted that defensive tackle, he was going to be like 6'4", 350 pounds. And he's a stump and you can't move him. And we didn't have that on defense either. So, but anyway, let's move on, man. Hey, man, the Super Bowl is this week, brother. The Super Bowl. It's such a foreign word to us. The
right?
Super Bowl is this week, man. Hey, man, we got these Chiefs and we got these Dallas Texans. I'm sorry, the Kansas City Chiefs. My Texans friends get mad at me every time I call them the Dallas Texans. I'm like, well, fuck, that's the truth. That's your origin, brother. That's where you come from. 21. Man, what's your thoughts on the game, man? And who do you think is going to take the game?
I'm excited for these commercials, man. I'm excited for these commercials. I really want to see what they bring this year. I want to get with Usher. I want to bust my Usher moves. You know, I just hope we don't. I just hope we don't break out in these slow jams because then it's gonna be a sad halftime. But I'm expecting a good game. It's two good teams. I can't discredit them. They're two good teams. But one thing for me, it's always and it will always be is fuck the Niners. So I'm going with the Dallas Texans as we like to call them. So definitely, it's like they're like our little cousins. So it's that little cousin that you saw, used to pick on back in the days. And after 50 years, they finally got up there, and they're like, "Yeah, we got Patty Mahomes now." And you see your cousin that he's a manager now, and he's doing good in life, and you're like, "Yeah, good job, cousin." Go do your thing, man. So shout out to the Dallas Texans, the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Go do that thing, man, because it's fuck the Niners for life.
Yes, sir.
What's your score of the game, bro?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna give it a close one. 23-20.
Chiefs, huh? Okay. Hey, who you got, man? What's your thoughts on this upcoming Super Bowl game this Sunday, man? Are you first of all, are you guys live streaming it?
We are. We'll be live streaming at Cowboys Can Fan on YouTube. I'll just say this matchup was the one I didn't want to see. I wanted to see Detroit, Baltimore, right? I wanted to see different teams. Feels like KC's at that level that the Patriots were 5-10 years ago, where it seems like they're always there. So you're like, I don't want to see them there again, right? It's just like, it's a recency bias that you hate. Like, oh man, they're always there, so I hate them. But I can't ever cheer for the 49ers. Like, I just can't do it. I cannot cheer for San Fran. Their fan base online is just a bunch of dirtbags. To me, they're on Philadelphia Eagles level online, at least. So
you stole the words out of my mouth. They're becoming the new Philly fans.
So I can't cheer for them. Nate Dogg, a guy that's a friend of our podcast, he's a big Niners fan. So I'm always happy when they win just for Nate, because Nate's one of the nicest guys on the planet. But as far as like the Niners themselves and their fan base, I hope they lose. I hope they can keep telling us, well, we made X amount of Super Bowls. It's like, yeah, but you still haven't won them. Like, nobody cares that you've made it to a Super Bowl to lose it. Like, I would rather lose in the wild card round than make it all the way to the Super Bowl to lose for the third time again, So I'm going Chiefs. Like, I want the Chiefs to win, but at the end of the day, I want to see a good football game. Let's be realistic. I already booked off Monday and I already booked off Tuesday because I plan on being super hungover for a couple days. So just going to be with the guys, live streaming, eating food, drinking beer, shotgunning, drinking Screech, having a good time. Just cracking them, just sitting back, watching a football game and hanging out, and I guess cheering for Patrick Mahomes because the next dynasty, right? The Chiefs win this one, they're the new dynasty. So I guess I'm rooting for the dynasty, and as you guys call them, the Dallas Texans.
I saw a stat today, and it was something like when two coaches meet up again in the Super Bowl for the second time, it's like the coach that won last time is 3-0 against. So we'll see if Andy Reid pulls it off again.
Right. Well, my thoughts on this, the Chiefs are the Dallas Texans. Hell, the Chiefs owners still live in Dallas. Okay.
Really?
They still live in Dallas.
The Hunt family
from Jerry Jones. They have a trophy. I forget the name of it, but it's a community in Dallas called Highland Park, and it's a street that runs through Highland Park, the main street. So they call it the whatever street trophy. Okay, and every member of their family live in Dallas. They don't live in Kansas City.
Wow.
They come out for the game, and a lot of people don't know that. And I was just like, because their father, Lamar Hunt, which is that AFC trophy is named after her, was one of the founders of the AFL. Okay. Yeah. They were actually here before the Cowboys. A lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't know they're from Dallas. So with the family being here, with them being a former team, it's kind of like a Browns fan cheering for the Ravens, hey, or a Houston fan cheering for the Titans, or a Rams fan cheering for the Rams, a St. Louis fan cheering for the LA team. So if I got to choose, I'm like, y'all, man, fuck the Niners forever. My brother is a diehard Niners fan. Fuck him too. It's like this, man. I'm going for the Dallas Texans / Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Texas boy. Us Texas people, we always support our people. So The Elmhurst boy, give me Patrick Mahomes 35-21.
Okay.
And let's get those Chiefs another Super Bowl trophy. One day they'll try to catch up to the five-time.
What do they got right now? 2?
They got 2. Remember, because Patrick Mahomes
3.
3, yeah, because Patrick Mahomes he won 2 and lost 1.
Patrick Mahomes has 2, and then they won what, Super Bowl 4 or something?
They won 1969. Yes, sir. Well, Super Bowl 2.
Super Bowl 2, number 2. So yeah, they're at 3, and it's crazy if Mahomes wins this one this Sunday, dude. He has 3 at what is he, 28 or something, 28 or 29? He's, I mean, as people said, nobody ever thought anyone would touch Brady's Super Bowl wins, but if he gets 3 before he's 30, it's in the realm. It's in the realm of possibilities.
And my whole thing, I can't bet against him. Man, we thought this year was just going to be his worst team. He had no receivers. They couldn't catch a cold. They wouldn't catch. All thing they had was Kelsey. And I don't understand how your tight end is always open.
How's the slowest guy on the field always open?
He's always open.
How's the slow white guy? How is the slow white guy on the field? Oh, the biggest, slowest, whitest guy on the field is always open. Makes no sense.
Always open. So I was like, from now on, I'm not betting against him till somebody beat him. Okay,
man. If the Chiefs make playoffs anytime Patrick Mahomes ever makes the playoffs again, you gotta think they're Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah. You got to think about it, man. In the middle of the season, we thought they were done.
We thought they were done.
They were done. You know, they couldn't catch, they couldn't play defense, and then all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes said, "Fuck it, let's play some football."
You're like, they're not beating the Bills. They're not beating the Bills. They're not beating the Ravens. Like, but they did.
Dude,
and what's crazy with Big Fella, you can attest to this. When we was up in Kansas City, everybody was just like, "Man, I hope it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs. I hope it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs." Man, everybody would tell us that, and man, that would have been one hell of a Super Bowl.
I was hoping it too.
I just wanted to be the Cowboys and anybody.
Yeah,
exactly, man. For real.
Hey, it would be wonderful again, wouldn't it? It would be wonderful. Hey, man. And,
you know what?
Go ahead, 21. Go ahead.
No, I said with that, it's like for Ivan, man. It's like, you know, this new generation that hasn't seen not even one. It's tough, man. And I just like I've had the honor of seeing 2 good ones. One of them was, you know, I was still little, but I saw 2, you know, in high school, and it's like, you know, I want to experience that again, and I want my son to experience that, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it's I'm ready for it, man.
And put it like this, it was so awesome. Hey, my biggest regret, and I've seen all 5 too. I'm old, guys. I'm sorry. But my biggest regret was never going to the parades, because I was like, oh, we're going to win next year. We'll win next year.
Yep.
We'll win next year. And then you see the parade in downtown Dallas, and you're just like, I never went to that shit. I want to go to a parade.
Well, we'll be with you. Can Fan will be with you.
We'll all be there.
I want a parade so damn bad. I was just like, Jesus. But hey, man, I appreciate you jumping in, man, with us, man. Everybody, man, go follow the Cowboy Can Fan. They have their show on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Pacific.
8 o'clock CT.
8 o'clock Central
yeah,
time.
6 Pacific, 8 CT.
And also they're gonna simulcast. Dude, if you ever seen their simulcast, you know how fun it is. Being there in person, I was mad we had a loss that day. I jinxed them. I'm like, damn it, I came all the way to Canada and jinxed them. But hey, man, I had a ball, man, up in Canada, bro. So
we loved having you there.
Thanks again for popping in up on the Cowboy Up podcast Tuesday nights. Say, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. It's gonna be off the cuff. It's gonna be wild. And And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's going to drop the mic. He's going to give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!